Guys, I've been blown away by ChatGPT. It's the best AI I've ever used, and it's already changing the world by creating tweets for influential people and even helping university students to write their exams and pass them. You can literally ask it for any advice, like how to deal with a tricky situation or even how to impress your in-laws. So I decided to push it to the limit to find out the top best things you can really do with it to change your life. So let's get started. Open up your browser and head over to chat.openai.com. It will ask you to sign up. Just put in your details and then you are pretty much good to go. One of the first powerful things I realized this could do was to ask it to summarize things. So if you have a web link to a long article that you really do not want to spend so much time in reading, just copy the link of the article and head over to ChatGPT and ask it to summarize the article in one sentence. It's going to summarize that long article for you to be able to spend seconds in reading through everything. This means that it can summarize hundreds of pages in seconds. So again, instead of spending hours of reading through documents, you can literally just copy the pages and paste in ChatGPT for it to summarize everything for you. Once you paste the pages on ChatGPT, just sit back and relax to watch the fastest summary you ever seen. Another thing you can do is, if you are on your phone with the same web link, just ask ChatGPT to summarize for you or to explain something for you in the news or something that has to do with old history, and it will make it much more quicker and easier for you to understand. But this is just the beginning. Let's roll over to some of the amazing things you can do with ChatGPT. ChatGPT can literally teach you anything. For instance, let's say you want to learn something. Instead of you going to Google to search for it or reading through manuals, you can ask ChatGPT to teach you whatever it is. And amazingly, it actually gives you a detailed guide and step by step to how to get started. It does a really good job at teaching you different languages and certain softwares like Photoshop. Remember, you get all this totally for free. What's so crazy is that if you are stuck on a project or on a super annoying maths homework, you can just put it in ChatGPT and ask it to solve it for you. Honestly, you'll be so lucky if you are still in the university or college, because it explains everything for you in a much more convenient fashion. And after all that, you can even ask it to grade your project or even grade your math homework. So I tried that by asking it to grade the solution I had to a math question, and I was amazed by the response and how it graded me. With this so far, you can turn ChatGPT into your teacher or a supervisor. ChatGPT is not a doctor, but it can really help you get healthy. And this seriously blew my mind. So let's say you want to get fit healthy, gain some muscle, and maybe lose some weight. You can ask ChatGPT for a detailed exercise plan. And honestly, it gives some great advice and an amazing plan to follow. And if this isn't detailed enough for you, remember, you can ask ChatGPT to give you some specifics. For instance, let's ask GPT to give us a diet plan without carbs. Just look at how detailed it got. You can even go further by asking it to give you a shopping list for any of those dishes. So ChatGPT can turn into a lot of things. Also, it can turn into you. Let's just say you copy a message or an email you've written by yourself. Head over to ChatGPT, ask it to analyze the message and learn to write like you. It will ask you to paste exactly what message or email you have written, so it can learn from it. And once you do that, you'll be blown away by how quick it picks up and learns to write like you. So for instance, if you are in the university and you have a lecturer that knows you so well that once he reads your script, he knows that that script was not written by you. This is a getaway for you by making an AI clone of yourself, and it's actually pretty useful, especially when you need ChatGPT to read and reply messages for you. People will literally think you wrote everything. Another mind-blowing thing is that you can ask ChatGPT for an advice. So let's say your close friend has a bad habit. You can ask ChatGPT to help you out in the best possible way to talk to him or her. And you'll be amazed by how balanced and reasonable the advice it will give you. It will make you feel like you are talking to a professional. Another thing you might not have thought to do with ChatGPT is to ask it to plan a holiday trip for you. It will give you a day-to-day itinerary of things you can do whilst you are on your trip. You can even ask it to be more specific by giving you options. Something else I actually enjoyed using it for is movie and book recommendations. So you can ask it like, what was the best romantic movies in the 80s? It will give you a list to just choose one, sit back, relax and enjoy. Believe it or not, you can actually play games with ChatGPT. So if you open ChatGPT and ask it what game you can play with it, it will give you a list of options to choose from. But my favorite has been the number game I suggested we play. I really did enjoy the number game. I was really impressed by how rapid it was responding to me in the process. It made me feel like I was really playing the game with a colleague. You can also try it out yourself. You can also take things further by asking ChatGPT to code a game for you. So I asked ChatGPT to write me a simple game code, and it literally made me a game from scratch. It can create for you absolutely unlimited content. You can also ask it to write a manifesto for you if you are vying for a school prefect. One thing I wouldn't forget to mention is that sometimes it does get some explanations completely wrong, but if you give it more information, it should get it right on the second try. To get better response, the best thing you can do is to pretend as if you are talking to a real person. Let's say if you're asking it simple questions like what is 1 + 1, you will get simple answers like 2. But the more detailed you are in your questions, like why is 1 + 1 = 2, the more detailed and informative its response. The second best thing you can do for better response is to correct ChatGPT when you think it's made a mistake. For instance, I asked it who Mandeiya Michael was and it got it totally wrong. So as you go with it, the more you correct it, the more it learns from its mistake and hopefully not make them again. So if you think about this is only ChatGPT version 4. There will be subsequent versions that will be released. Imagine watching this video in 20 years time, where we probably will be having ChatGPT version 40 or even more. Imagine how much improved that version will be. So AI is only going to get better with some disadvantages and so much opportunities. So let me know if you want to see more videos on AI in the comment section. So hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. I will see you in the next one.